What's going on, everybody? Danger Rock here. Today we're going to be looking at this karate chopping Buzz Lightyear action figure made by Mattel in 2009. This came out during the Toy Story 3 deluxe line of action figures that are about 6.5 inches tall. So here we got the Buzz Lightyear action figure himself. And for a 6.5 inch figure, I would say this guy's got some pretty good detail. What we're going to do is we're going to take a closer look at him and compare him to another Buzz Lightyear action figure that I have. Starting off looking at the figure itself, his face sculpt isn't too bad. It looks just like Buzz. The colors on it are all really nice. What I really like about this is that the decals they use for his Space Ranger, Lightyear, and laser stickers, they look straight out of the film. He's a 6-inch figure. He doesn't talk or anything. He doesn't have any wings, but what he does have is his karate chop action. So what we do is, if we turn him over, right here you can see this big purple button. It pops out of his jetpack, and when you press it, that activates his karate chop action. So that's really cool. So what you could do is, his arm has a spring joint in it, so when you move it, you could hear like ratchet joints of it clicking. So you could get him to karate chop in different positions depending on how you want to position his arm. So what we could do is we could press that, and he karate chops really fast, so that's pretty cool. However, in the movie, it was just this circle button right here. It wasn't this big button that sticks out. But as far as movie accuracy goes, it seems only the Disney Store Buzz Lightyears have the karate chop action. That's a little bit more accurate to the movie, because the Disney Store ones just have this little circle right here that you press. It's not this big, large button that sticks out of his jetpack. So that's really cool. So his helmet is not retractable. It's just a figure that's stuck in this pose. But his head does pivot a little bit. And as far as articulation goes, you can rotate his right arm a full 360. His elbows bends. His wrist doesn't swivel. His legs could kick outward that far. You could kick back that far. You could bend his knees here to a 90-degree angle. I think that's really cool. And the articulation in his left arm is a little limited because of his karate chop action figure. So you could put it down, you could hear the spring going, but it'll just kind of bounce right back off, or you could have him karate chop in a completely different direction like that. So that's cool. So another thing that I noticed is that he does have articulation in the back of his forearms, so you can bend it back or forward like that. So that's really cool. And I would say overall this is a pretty good action figure. If you turn him around, as you can see, they painted his screw holes green right here, which is really cool. Right there you can see a serial number where it says Disney, Pixar, China, Mattel, Inc. And the only thing I don't like about him is that his jetpack right here, it doesn't have the danger and the jet exhaust stickers. So I feel like he could have used a lot more paint detail. Like, he does have the green paint on his hand, but he doesn't have the purple paint for his figures or anything. So they just kind of skipped on that and just decided to give him detail all in the front of this figure, which for a standard figure, like back in the day, I think these were like $7 or $8. So I don't think that for the price point it's really bad. I just wish it would have included a lot more detail. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set Buzz aside right here, and we're gonna compare him to another Buzz Lightyear that I have. This is the disc launching Buzz Lightyear, and what's really cool about him is that he has a completely different facial expression. All of his articulation and everything seems exactly the same, But if we turn him over right here, if we look at his disc launching button, it's the exact same button as the karate chop action, which is interesting. So if we turn these two guys around, it seems that the button on this Buzz is a little bit bigger. As you can see, it sticks out of his jetpack a lot more. But it's kind of cool how I think that these two stand at almost the same height. The disc launching attack Buzz Lightyear is just a little bit bigger, to my knowledge. And I think that's actually really film accurate, because if we look at the disc launching attack Buzz Lightyear, he does have his utility belt, which kind of makes sense. You would think that this disc launching attack would be one of his utility belt accessories, and strangely he does have a peg hole in his hand right here, so it makes you believe that something would go there. But when we press this button, you can see the mechanism that would fire the discs. So also looking at a back comparison, yeah, now you can see that this guy here is just a little bit taller, but not by much. He's only like an inch taller. So that's really cool. The Toy Story 3 era of collecting back in 2010 was my favorite era of collecting these toys, because that was when we got all the Disney collections, signature collections, and all those limited movie editions that came out back in that time. So I would say this Karate Chop and Buzz Lightyear is a pretty good figure. I'm glad that he has the Karate Chop action feature, which is something a lot of the 12-inch Buzz Lightyears don't have. So it's kind of nice to have it on this figure. And his sculpt and his decals are all really nice. So I would totally recommend them. I believe right now you can find them for the price point of $15 to $20. So he's not really expensive, and he's not really crazy rare like some of the other Buzzes. So you shouldn't have any trouble finding this guy. You can find him right now on eBay, Mercari, maybe Marketplace. So he's a pretty good addition to have. So yeah, this has been my review of the Toy Story 3 Karate Chop and Buzz Lightyear, made by Mattel in 2009. If you like this video, please leave a like. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a collection video, so definitely stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this figure? Do these bring back any memories? And thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the next video review.